In the vast untamed corners of our world, two realms of breathtaking beauty and brutal hardship stand apart: Yellowstone National Park in North America and the towering Himalayas of Asia. These are not merely landscapes. They are living, breathing arenas where the struggle for survival is written into every snowdrift and icy gust. Here, the land is sculpted by relentless ice and wind, carving out a world where only the most resilient can endure. Every rock, every frozen stream, every wind-battered tree tells a story of adaptation and persistence. Yellowstone, a sprawling expanse of geothermal wonders and dense forests, transforms each winter into a kingdom of white silence. Geysers hiss and steam, their warmth a rare oasis in a sea of frost, while ancient pines stand cloaked in snow, their branches heavy with the weight of survival. The Himalayas, the roof of the world, rise in jagged defiance against the sky. Here the air is thin, biting cold seeps into every crevice, and the sun's rays are sharp but fleeting. Life is a constant test of endurance where every breath is hard-won and every step a battle against gravity and chill. In these frozen arenas, the daily drama of survival unfolds with relentless intensity. Tracks in the snow tell of silent chases and desperate escapes, while blizzards sweep across the land, erasing all but the most determined. The creatures that call these places home are true masters of survival. Their fur thickens, their bodies adapt, and their senses sharpen. Each is armed with a unique arsenal of skills, honed by generations of hardship and necessity. In Yellowstone, mighty herds of elk and bison plough through drifts that reach their bellies, muscles straining with every step. Their breath steams in the frigid air, and their hooves churn the snow in search of buried grasses. Lurking in the shadows, the grey wolf watches, silent, calculating, waiting for the moment when weakness reveals itself. High in the Himalayas, the elusive snow leopard moves like a whisper among the rocks. Her pale coat blends seamlessly with the snow-dusted cliffs, her every step measured and silent. Against a backdrop of scarcity and danger, she raises her cubs, teaching them the art of patience and the necessity of stealth. These are not just stories of predator and prey, they are intricate sagas of family and strategy, where bonds are forged in the crucible of cold. In the heart of a blizzard, families huddle together, sharing warmth and strength, each heartbeat a testament to resilience. As we journey deeper into these magnificent wildernesses, we witness the raw, unfiltered reality of the animal kingdom. Every movement is calculated, every decision a matter of life and death. Cooperation becomes a shield against the cold and the hungry. Packs and herds move as one, their unity a formidable defense against even the most determined hunters. In the snow, teamwork is survival. Prey animals employ clever tactics, blending into the landscape, moving with the wind, or darting in unpredictable patterns. In these frozen lands, wit can be as powerful as muscle, and a moment's hesitation can mean the difference between escape and capture. The wolf pack hunts with precision, each member playing a role in the silent ballet of pursuit. Meanwhile, the red panda mother keeps solitary vigil, her every sense attuned to danger as she forages for scarce food, her determination unwavering in the face of solitude. With each sunrise, animals emerge from their shelters, their silhouettes etched against the glowing snow. Every dawn is a hard-won victory, a new chance to endure, to adapt, and to thrive. The contrast between Yellowstone's snow-laden forests and the Himalayas' rocky, wind-scoured slopes is striking, yet both reveal a universal truth. Survival in the frozen wild demands ingenuity, courage, and relentless will. Whether on the geothermal plains of Wyoming, where steam rises like a beacon in the cold, or on the barren Tibetan slopes, where every scrap of food is precious, the challenges are the same. Find nourishment, avoid becoming prey, and ensure the next generation survives. The solutions are as varied as the creatures themselves. Some grow thicker coats, others change color, and some develop entirely new behaviors, each adaptation a marvel of evolution, a testament to the ingenuity of life. In this world of high stakes, a single misstep can be fatal. Yet time and again, bravery, intelligence, and the strength of family lead to triumph against all odds. These are the frozen warriors, champions of survival, whose stories are etched in snow and ice, and whose legacy endures with every heartbeat beneath the winter sky. Winter descends on Yellowstone's Lamar Valley with a quiet, chilling finality. The air is razor-sharp, biting through fur and hide alike, and the snow lies deep and unyielding, blanketing every trace of the world beneath. The landscape, once green and teeming with life, is now a stark canvas of white and grey. Every step is a test, every breath a cloud in the frozen air. Here the struggle for survival intensifies with each passing day. A herd of elk, magnificent and resilient, ploughs through the deep snow. Each movement is deliberate, conserving precious energy. Their breath plumes in the frigid air, nostrils flaring as they search for any sign of buried grass beneath the crusted snow. The elk are powerful, but the relentless cold and scarce food have weakened them. Ribs show beneath their thick winter coats, and their heads dip low, sweeping aside snow with their muzzles in a desperate search for sustenance. Yet they are not alone. Shadows linger at the edge of the valley, silent and watchful. From the cover of the trees, the Lamar wolf pack observes. Their bodies are low, blending with the undergrowth, eyes fixed on the herd. Each wolf is attuned to the subtlest movement, the faintest sign of weakness. The pack's social structure is intricate. The experienced alpha leads, ears pricked and tail high, signaling intent. Subordinates fall into place, each wolf understanding its role, scouts, flankers, chasers, moving as a single coordinated unit. The hunt begins not with chaos, but with a slow, calculated approach. The wolves advance step by silent step, using the wind and the cover of snow-laden trees to mask their presence. Patience is their greatest weapon. They circle the herd, eyes scanning for the smallest sign, a limp, a lagging step, a moment's hesitation. The elk, sensing danger, bunch together, their bodies forming a living shield, the strongest on the outside, the weakest within. The wolves communicate with glances and subtle gestures. Their strategy is one of teamwork and endurance, each member contributing to the unfolding plan. Flankers dart forward, testing the herd's resolve. They feint and probe, forcing the elk to shift and break formation, searching for a gap, a moment of confusion. The goal is not brute force, but precision. The wolves work to isolate a single elk, separating it from the safety of the group. The chosen target is often the old, the injured, or the young, those least able to keep pace. As the pressure mounts, the wolves succeed in cutting a lone elk cow from her companions. The chase erupts, a sudden burst of energy across the snow. The elk, driven by adrenaline and a primal will to survive, bounds through the snow. Her hooves punch through the crust, muscles straining, every leap a desperate bid for life. The wolves follow, their strides long and synchronized, moving as a relentless grey tide. They do not tire easily, their endurance is legendary, honed by countless hunts in the bitter cold. The pursuit is a ballet of predator and prey, each testing the other's limits. The elk zigzags, seeking uneven ground or dense thickets. Anything to slow her pursuers. The wolves adjust, anticipating her moves, closing the gap with every stride. The elk's knowledge of the land becomes her greatest ally. She veers towards the river, the one barrier the wolves cannot easily cross. With a final desperate leap, she plunges into the freezing water. The shock is immediate, but she pushes forward, driven by instinct and necessity. The current is swift and the cold is punishing, but the elk presses on, her body shuddering with the effort. The river is a gauntlet, but it is her only hope. The wolves halt at the river's edge, their breath steaming in the cold. They pace, frustrated, unwilling to risk the deadly chill of the water. Their dense fur insulates against the snow, but not the icy depths. A plunge into the river could mean hypothermia, a risk too great even for the hungriest hunter. The elk stands, shivering but alive, in the middle of the stream. Her sides heave, steam rising from her wet coat as she endures the cold, eyes fixed on the wolves. The wolves linger, watching, but the hunt is over. They turn away, melting back into the snowy wilderness. Ever patient, ever hungry, the elk drags herself from the water, collapsing on the snowy bank. She's exhausted, but her gamble has paid off. Today she survives. In the harsh world of Yellowstone, survival is a contest of wit, endurance, and adaptation. Here the strongest do not always prevail. Often it is the clever, the cautious, and the bold who endure another day. The failed elk hunt leaves the Lamar wolf pack restless, their hunger sharpening their senses as the cold wind whips across the snow-laden valley. The river, a frozen barrier, glistens under a pale sun, its icy surface a silent witness to the drama about to unfold. Driven by necessity, the wolves regroup and move with purpose through the dense, snow-draped forest, their paws barely making a sound on the powdery ground. Each member of the pack is alert, their eyes scanning for opportunity. Hunger gnaws at them, sharpening their focus. Their attention shifts to a new target, a challenge that dwarfs their previous quarry in both size and danger. Nearby, a herd of American bison grazes, their massive bodies casting long shadows on the snow. Each bison moves deliberately, their thick coats dusted with frost, their breath steaming in the frigid air. These are the titans of Yellowstone, up to 900 kilograms of muscle, shielded by dense fur and armed with curved horns. Every movement radiates strength and caution. An adult bison is a fortress on hooves. Its hide, thick and scarred from past battles, is a testament to its resilience. Muscles ripple beneath the fur as it plows through the snow, unyielding to the elements. The wolves halt, eyes fixed on the herd. Instinct and experience warn them. A direct attack on a healthy adult could mean death. The air is tense, every animal aware of the stakes. The pack advances, their bodies low, movements calculated. The snow muffles their approach, but the bison sense the threat, muscles tensing, nostrils flaring. The wolves pause, reading the herd's formation, searching for any sign of weakness, a limping step, a calf straying too far from the center. They begin their psychological assault, circling the herd, weaving in and out, testing the perimeter. The snow crunches underfoot as they shift positions, probing for a reaction. The wolves employ the wave-cutting technique, darting in from the flanks, then retreating, their movements synchronized. Each rush is designed to unsettle, to fracture the herd's unity. They lunge at the edges, snapping at snow and hooves, then withdraw, forcing the bison to shift and tighten their ranks. The wolves' breath hangs in the air, their eyes never leaving the herd. The goal is clear: disrupt the herd's cohesion, isolate the weak. The wolves focus on the periphery, searching for a bison that falters, a momentary lapse in the wall of muscle and horn. But the bison are seasoned defenders. Instinctively they draw together, forming a living barricade, every head turned outward, eyes locked on the circling predators. The herd shifts into a defensive circle, the largest adults at the perimeter, their horns lowered, ready to repel any assault. Calves and weaker members are pressed into the center, shielded by the bulk of their protectors. The outer ring is a wall of muscle and horn, each bison bracing against the cold and the threat, their hooves digging into the snow for traction. Within this fortress, the young and vulnerable are nearly invisible, their only sign the occasional flick of an ear or a nervous glance. Shoulder to shoulder, the bison present an unbroken barrier, their heads lowered, eyes blazing with determination. The wolves circle, but find no opening. The unity of the herd is absolute. Each bison stands firm, the snow swirling around them, a silent testament to their resolve. The standoff stretches on, hour after hour. The wolves circle, sometimes lunging, sometimes retreating, their energy slowly draining in the relentless cold. The pack's patience is formidable. They pace, they wait, their eyes never leaving the herd, hoping for a mistake, a break in the line. Occasionally, a wolf darts in, snapping at the heels of the outer guards, testing their nerve, seeking to provoke a charge or a stumble. But the bison do not yield. They stand their ground, unmoving, their formation unbroken despite the wolves' provocations. As the hours pass, the wolves' movements grow sluggish. The cold bites deeper, and their energy wanes with every failed attempt. The bison, still united, stand victorious. Their discipline and collective strength have turned the tide, forcing the predators to reconsider. At last the wolves retreat, melting into the shadowy forest, their hunger unsatisfied, their spirits tested by the unyielding defense. In the heart of Yellowstone's winter, the bison's unwavering solidarity and strategic defense have triumphed over the relentless cunning of the pack. Here, survival is not just about strength, but about unity, patience, and the will to endure. As winter's icy grip finally loosens, the frozen world of Yellowstone begins to transform. The snow, once a thick, silent blanket, now melts in rivulets, revealing the battered earth beneath. The air is sharp, tinged with the scent of thawing soil and the promise of new life. Spring breathes into the valley, coaxing green shoots from the ground and filling the forest with the tentative songs of returning birds. But beneath this gentle renewal, the struggle for survival is as fierce as ever. The Lamar wolf pack, seasoned by months of hunger and cold, now turns its attention inward. Their den, hidden among tangled roots and shaded by ancient trees, is a sanctuary carved from the earth itself, a place where the pack's future is cradled in darkness and warmth. Inside, the alpha female curls around her newborn cubs. Their eyes are sealed, their bodies trembling with the effort of first breaths. Instinct guides her every movement. She licks them clean, nudges them close, and listens for the faintest whimper. The den is a world apart, a fragile bubble of safety, in a landscape still ruled by ice and hunger. The rest of the pack gathers near the entrance, their bodies forming a living barrier. Each wolf is attuned to the den's needs, bringing food, standing guard, and offering warmth. The cubs, helpless and blind, are the heartbeat of the pack, their survival the only thing that matters. Yet in the wild, safety is always an illusion. The forest, still haunted by the memory of winter, holds shadows that move with silent purpose. Every scent on the wind, every crack of a twig is a warning. The scent of the newborn cubs, delicate and irresistible, drifts on the spring breeze, an unintentional signal to all who prowl the woods. The breeze stirs the grass, carrying the promise of life and the threat of death in equal measure. Instinct sharpens every sense, and the wolves grow restless, their ears flicking at distant sounds. From the depths of the forest, a new presence emerges. A black bear, gaunt from months of hibernation, lumbers into the clearing. Hunger gnaws at its belly, and instinct drives it forward, nose twitching, eyes scanning for weakness. The bear's massive paws leave deep prints in the thawing earth. It moves with a slow, deliberate power, drawn by the scent of the den. The frozen landscape offers little food, and the bear's instincts are honed by desperation. It pauses, sniffing the air, its mind a tangle of hunger and caution. The den is close, the scent of cubs is strong, an opportunity but also a risk. As the bear edges closer, the wolves sense the threat. Instinct overrides playfulness. Every muscle tenses. Every eye locks on the intruder. The pack's energy shifts in an instant. Playful nips and gentle nudges vanish, replaced by a silent electric tension. When the wolves know what is at stake, their future, their bloodline, their very existence. They form a living wall, bodies pressed together, eyes blazing with determination. The den behind them is sacred ground, and instinct demands they defend it with everything they have. The alpha male steps forward, hackles raised, his body low and ready. The pack follows, each wolf moving as if guided by a single mind. Together, they form a defensive arc, a barrier of snarling teeth and bristling fur. The bear halts, confronted by a force greater than hunger, a force born of unity and instinct. Lips curl back in silent snarls, eyes narrow with warning. The mother wolf stands at the den's mouth, her body a final shield. She does not flinch, her instincts are absolute. She places herself between danger and her cubs, a living barrier forged by generations of survival. There is no fear, only the primal certainty that she must protect her young. The pack's resolve is unbreakable. Each wolf is ready to fight, to bleed, to die if necessary. Instinct binds them together, stronger than the cold, stronger than hunger. The standoff crackles with tension. The frozen landscape, silent witness to countless battles, seems to hold its breath. Wolf and bear lock eyes, each measuring the other. The bear, massive and powerful, is met by the unwavering unity of the pack. This is a contest of instincts, predator against protector, hunger against hope. The bear hesitates, muscles bunching beneath its thick fur. It makes a short, bluff charge, testing the wolves' resolve. The wolves do not yield. They stand firm, a wall of snarling defiance, their bodies pressed low to the frozen ground. The bear's charge falters. The wolves do not break formation. They do not retreat. Instinct tells them that unity is their greatest weapon. The pack holds its ground, refusing to give an inch. The frozen earth beneath their paws is a testament to their endurance. The bear, faced with the unyielding wall of defenders, reconsiders. Instinct whispers caution. Injury here could mean death in the lingering cold. The bear weighs its options, hunger warring with self-preservation. The risk is too great, the reward too uncertain. With a final, lingering look, the bear turns away. Its instincts, honed by countless seasons, tell it to seek easier prey. Slowly, the bear ambles back into the forest, swallowed by the shadows of the thawing wilderness. The wolves remain, breath steaming in the cold air, hearts pounding with victory. The den is safe for now. The pack gathers around the entrance, nuzzling the pups, reaffirming the bonds that have carried them through the frozen months. In this world of ice and instinct, survival belongs to those who stand together. Section 5. The Ghost of the Mountains, a Snow Leopard's Tale. Far from Yellowstone, in the heart of the Himalayas, the snow leopard's journey unfolds across the vast, wind-lashed Tibetan plateau. Here, survival is a daily battle against the elements and the unforgiving terrain. At over 5,000 meters above sea level, the air is thin and biting cold. The snow leopard, perfectly adapted to this world, moves with silent confidence, her broad fur-covered paws acting as natural snowshoes on the icy ground. Her smoky grey coat, dappled with dark rosettes, is more than beautiful. It is her shield. Blending seamlessly into the jagged rocks and snow, she becomes nearly invisible, a true ghost of the mountains. The snow leopard's life is solitary. She roams her vast territory alone, covering miles each day in search of prey, her senses finely tuned to every sound and movement in the wilderness. Hunger is a constant companion. She scans the endless ridges, her sharp eyes searching for the faintest sign of life, ibex, blue sheep, or even a marmot. Spotting a young Himalayan ibex, she drops low, her body pressed to the ground. Every muscle tenses as she begins her approach, using every boulder and shadow for cover. Her movements are slow, deliberate, and almost imperceptible. Patience is her greatest weapon, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. She weaves through the rocks, closing the distance inch by inch, her presence masked by the howling wind and swirling snow. Suddenly she bursts from her cover, launching herself with explosive power. Her long, thick tail whips behind her, keeping her balanced as she races down the treacherous slope. The hunt is swift. She secures her prize, a hard-won meal that will sustain her through the bitter cold nights. For most of the year she is alone, but as winter deepens, her calls echo through the empty valleys, seeking a mate for a fleeting union. After a brief courtship, the pair part ways. The female, now alone again, prepares a den in a sheltered cave, hidden from the relentless wind and snow. As the plateau is buried beneath a thick blanket of snow, she retreats into her den, the only sanctuary in a world of ice. In the darkness, 2 cubs are born, blind, fragile, and utterly dependent on their mother's warmth and protection. She wraps her body around them, shielding them from the cold, her milk their only nourishment in the frozen world outside. For weeks she rarely leaves their side, her own hunger growing as she devotes herself to their survival. But the demands of motherhood are relentless. Her energy wanes, and soon she must face the outside world once more. As the cubs grow, so do their appetites. Driven by necessity, she slips out at dawn, vanishing into the white silence to hunt. Each departure is a risk. She hesitates at the cave's mouth, torn between her need to provide and her instinct to protect. Her skill prevails. She brings down a mountain goat, dragging the heavy carcass through deep snow, her determination unwavering. The cubs taste meat for the first time, a milestone in their journey from helplessness to independence. As the seasons turn, she teaches them the secrets of the mountains, how to stalk, how to hide, how to survive. Her legacy is written in every lesson, ensuring that one day her cubs too will become the silent, unseen spirits of the Himalayas. In the remote, wind-swept heights of the Himalayas, the snow leopard cubs thrive beneath their mother's vigilant gaze. Each day their bodies grow stronger, their movements more assured as they tumble and wrestle in the snow. Play that is, in truth, the earliest training for the life and death struggles ahead. Now, as adolescence sharpens their senses, the cubs begin to reveal the instincts that will one day define them as apex predators. Their games become more serious, stalking, pouncing, and freezing in place, every muscle tensed in anticipation. They shadow their mother across the rugged plateau, their eyes fixed on her every move. Each step, each pause, each subtle shift in her posture is a lesson in the silent language of the hunt. The cubs absorb these teachings, their minds cataloguing every nuance. One crisp morning, the family halts atop a high ridge. Below, a herd of yaks grazes, their massive forms dotting the valley floor. The cubs peer down, their curiosity piqued by these unfamiliar giants. Unlike the nimble ibex or mountain goats they have watched before, these yaks are immense, their horns formidable. Yet the cub's youthful bravado stirs. a dangerous blend of fascination and overconfidence. Their mother's posture shifts, her body taut with caution. She knows well the peril these powerful herbivores represent, her instincts honed by years of survival in this unforgiving land. But one young male, emboldened by the thrill of the unknown, cannot resist the urge to prove himself. His muscles coil, his eyes lock onto a yak calf that has wandered from the herd's protective circle. He lowers his body, mimicking the precise, deliberate movements he has seen his mother perform. Each step is a study in concentration, his tail flicking in anticipation, his breath shallow with excitement. The world narrows to a single point, the calf. He inches forward, every muscle quivering, oblivious to the danger that lurks in his inexperience. His mother senses the shift in the air. Her ears flick back, her gaze sharpens, and she turns, issuing a silent warning with a flick of her tail and a low, urgent growl. But the young male, intoxicated by the hunt, ignores her. He is dwarfed by the yak, but his confidence blinds him to the gulf in strength and experience. The mother moves swiftly, her body a barrier between her son and disaster. She tries to herd him back, her presence a living shield. But the lesson must be learned. Her intervention comes a heartbeat too late. The young male's inexperience betrays him. He hesitates just as the danger becomes real. The lead yak, a towering bull, senses the threat. His nostrils flare, his head rises and his body tenses, ready to defend his herd. With a thunderous snort, the bull charges. The ground trembles beneath his hooves, dust swirling as he barrels forward with astonishing speed and force. The young snow leopard freezes, caught in the path of the charging giant. His bravado evaporates, replaced by raw primal fear. The yak's horn strikes with brutal precision, raking the cub's flank. Pain explodes through his body, a searing, unforgettable lesson delivered in an instant. With a desperate cry, the cub scrambles away, his body battered, his spirit shaken. He flees to the safety of the rocks, the echo of the yak's fury ringing in his ears. Limping, bloodied and humbled, the young leopard collapses, his breath ragged. The pain is sharp, but the lesson is sharper still. His mother watches from a distance. Her eyes steady and unblinking, she offers no comfort, only the silent assurance that this is how wisdom is earned in the wild. Alone, the cub licks his wounds, the memory of pain and fear burning into his mind. This is the wild's harshest teacher, experience. From his vantage point, he gazes at the yak herd with newfound respect. The arrogance of youth has been replaced by a cautious understanding of the power that prey can wield. He will remember this moment. Caution, patience, and the wisdom to choose the right target, these are the true tools of survival. The scar he now bears is more than a wound. It is a mark of growth, a permanent reminder of the wild's unforgiving lessons. Soon he will leave his mother, carrying with him the knowledge that only pain and experience can impart, ready to carve out his own place in the vast, untamed mountains. The animal that taught the young snow leopard such a harsh lesson is the undisputed titan of the Tibetan plateau, the yak. This massive creature is a masterpiece of high-altitude adaptation, a living testament to nature's ability to equip life for the most extreme environments on Earth. Weighing up to a ton, the wild yak is a truly awe-inspiring sight, its immense body covered in a long, shaggy coat of thick fur that hangs down like a skirt, providing exceptional insulation against temperatures that can plummet to -40 degrees Celsius. This dense coat traps a layer of air, acting as a natural barrier against the biting winds and relentless cold. The yak's internal physiology is just as remarkable as its external appearance. To survive in the thin air of altitudes exceeding 5,000 meters, where oxygen is scarce, the yak has evolved to have a larger heart and greater lung capacity than cattle living at lower elevations. Its blood also contains a high concentration of red blood cells, which enhances its ability to transport oxygen throughout its powerful body. These adaptations allow it to not only survive, but thrive in a landscape where most other large mammals would quickly perish. It moves with a slow, deliberate energy, conserving strength in a world where every calorie is precious. But the yak is not merely a passive survivor, it is a formidable fighter, fully capable of defending itself and its herd. Its primary weapons are its large, sharp horns, which can be used with devastating effect against any predator foolish enough to challenge it. An adult yak can easily fend off an attack from a snow leopard and will not hesitate to charge any perceived threat to its young. As we saw, their defensive strategy is proactive and aggressive. When a predator is detected, the herd will often form a protective group around the calves, while the dominant bulls confront the danger head-on, their immense power and courage creating an intimidating and effective deterrent. Whether standing alone on a windswept ridge or gathered in a herd, the wild yak embodies the spirit of the Himalayas. It is a symbol of strength, endurance, and the profound ability of life to adapt and conquer even the most inhospitable corners of our planet, an unmovable and indomitable presence on the roof of the world. In the temperate rainforests that cling to the lower slopes of the Himalayas, in a world far removed from the icy peaks, lives a much smaller and more reclusive creature. The red panda, with its rusty red coat, long ringed tail, and charming whiskered face, is a specialist climber, more closely related to weasels and raccoons than to the giant panda it shares a name with. This solitary animal spends most of its life in the trees, navigating the canopy with incredible agility. Its semi-retractable claws and a false thumb, an extended wrist bone, give it a powerful grip as it forages for its primary food source, bamboo. The life of a red panda is one of quiet solitude, except during the brief mating season. Afterward, the female prepares a nest, often in a hollow tree, to give birth to her young. After a pregnancy of about 130 days, she delivers a litter of 1 to 4 cubs. They are born blind, covered in thick grey fur, and are completely helpless. The mother raises them entirely on her own, a demanding and perilous task. For the first few months, she spends most of her time in the den, keeping them warm and nursing them. Her world shrinks to this tiny hidden sanctuary, her own needs secondary to the survival of her offspring. As the cubs grow, the mother must spend more time away from the den, foraging for the vast quantities of bamboo needed to produce enough milk. This is a time of great vulnerability for the young. Predators are a constant threat. One of the most significant dangers comes from the sky. A mountain hawk eagle soaring high above can spot the slightest movement on the forest floor. If a cub wanders too far from the safety of the nest while its mother is away, it becomes an easy target. The mother, ever vigilant, must balance her need to find food with her instinct to protect her family from these ever-present dangers. We witness a moment of high drama as the mother returns to find a predator circling overhead. She acts instantly, grabbing one of her cubs by the scruff of its neck and carrying it to a more secure location. Her life is a continuous series of such challenges, not only from predators but also from a shrinking habitat. The temperate forests they depend on are dwindling due to deforestation, putting immense pressure on their food sources. Each day the red panda must navigate a world of uncertainty. Hunger gnaws at her belly as she searches for the next patch of bamboo. Her senses always alert for the snap of a twig or the shadow of wings above. The forest, once a sanctuary, now feels smaller, more dangerous. Yet in the quiet moments she finds comfort in her cubs' warmth. Their tiny bodies pressed close, their soft breaths a reminder of what she fights for. Every day is a test of endurance, a battle against hunger, fear, and the relentless march of time. The red panda's struggle is written in every cautious step, every anxious glance, every gentle nuzzle. Her devotion is unwavering, her courage quiet but fierce. In the heart of the Himalayas, her story is one of resilience, a mother's love standing against the odds, determined to give her young a chance at life, no matter how uncertain the future may be. Within the frozen expanses of Yellowstone and the Himalayas, the stories of survival are written in every paw print and every breath of icy wind. Here, nature's wisdom is revealed through the relentless trials faced by its inhabitants. Each animal, from the wolf to the snow leopard, weaves a tale of adaptation, resilience, and instinct honed by generations. The elk, pursued by the determined wolf pack, demonstrates that survival is not always about strength. Its calculated dash across the treacherous, frozen river is a testament to the power of environmental knowledge, turning the landscape itself into a shield against danger. The wolf pack, in turn, embodies the lesson of unity. The bison herd, forming a living fortress, shows that collective defense is a force few predators can overcome. The wolves, patient and persistent, test the boundaries of this unity, while the bison's unwavering bond keeps them safe. In the wolf den, the pack's coordinated defense against a powerful bear reveals the strength found in loyalty and shared purpose, as every member stands guard for the vulnerable young. In the Himalayas, the snow leopard and red panda mothers embody the wisdom of devotion and patience. Their tireless nurturing and teaching ensure that the next generation inherits the skills and instincts needed to endure the harshest conditions. Nature's lessons are often harsh, as seen in the young snow leopard's failed attempt to hunt a yak. The pain of failure becomes a vital teacher, instilling caution and respect for the challenges of the wild. Each setback is a lesson etched into memory, sharpening instincts for future trials. In these frozen realms, experience is the currency of survival. Every encounter, whether a hunt, a defense, or a nurturing moment, adds to the wisdom carried forward. The accumulation of knowledge, gained through both triumph and defeat, refines each animal's ability to adapt and thrive. The wolfpack's seamless teamwork and the solitary endurance of the snow leopard mother echo the truth that survival demands more than muscle or speed. It calls for strategy, cooperation, devotion, and the ability to learn and change. The frozen warriors of Yellowstone and the Himalayas reveal the raw mechanics of nature's wisdom, where courage, intelligence, and the bonds of family are the keys to enduring the relentless tests of the wild. Their struggles and triumphs are the living heartbeat of the natural world. Beneath the windswept plateaus of the Himalayas, a low mound of earth stirs under a thick blanket of snow. Here, in an underground labyrinth, the Himalayan marmot endures the biting cold, embodying a quieter but no less remarkable saga of survival. As winter grips the land, the marmot's days are spent in a state of torpor, a deep energy-saving sleep. Nestled together in communal burrows, entire families share warmth, their bodies pressed close to stave off the lethal chill. These burrows, ingeniously dug and lined with dry grass, become sanctuaries where temperatures remain just above freezing, even as the world above is locked in ice. When spring's first rays begin to thaw the snow, the marmots awaken. Their emergence is cautious. Keen eyes scan for golden eagles circling in the clear blue sky or red foxes prowling the rocky slopes. Danger is ever present, and vigilance is a lesson written into every heartbeat. Each day the marmot family forages for the brief bounty of alpine meadows, grasses, roots, and wildflowers, storing fat reserves that will see them through the next long winter. Their stout bodies and thick fur are marvels of adaptation, insulating them against the mountain's merciless winds. Communication is subtle but vital. A sharp whistle signals the approach of a predator, sending the colony into a scatter of synchronized retreats. In these moments, the marmot's survival relies not on brute strength, but on community awareness and the wisdom to retreat when necessary. Despite their humble size, the Himalayan marmots are pillars of their ecosystem. Their burrows offer shelter to other creatures, beetles, lizards, and even small birds, creating micro-havens in the frozen expanse. In the heart of the world's highest mountains, the marmot's story is a testament to the power of adaptation and the strength found in quiet perseverance. Against the relentless cold and constant threat, they endure, not as fierce hunters or powerful fighters, but as silent sentinels, shaping the rhythm of survival in the snowfields. High above the windswept peaks, where the air thins and the world below is etched in white and shadow, the golden eagle reigns as an apex predator of the frozen mountains. With wings stretched nearly 8 feet across, this master of the sky glides effortlessly over treacherous ridges, every feather tuned to the subtlest shift in the icy wind. Step 1. Patience. Perched on a jagged outcrop, the eagle surveys the endless expanse, golden eyes scanning for the faintest movement. Its gaze is unyielding, able to spot a marmot's cautious emergence or the ripple of fur as a pika scurries across the snow. Step 2. Calculation. The eagle weighs distance, wind speed, and the cover of clouds. It waits for the perfect moment, when prey is exposed, when the element of surprise is absolute. Step 3. The strike. With a sudden, silent leap, the eagle plunges earthward. Its descent is a blur, talons extended, body streamlined. The rush of cold air is a whisper compared to the thundering heartbeats of its quarry. Step 4. Impact. The eagle's talons lock onto the marmot's back, pinning it to the snow. There is no hesitation, only precision. The struggle is brief. The hunter's power is overwhelming. Step 5. Ascent. With powerful wing beats, the eagle lifts its prize, retreating to a secluded perch where it can feed undisturbed. Nothing is wasted. Every morsel of flesh and feather is vital in this harsh realm. But survival here is a delicate balance. Sometimes the hunt fails. Prey vanishes into a maze of burrows, or a sudden gust upends the eagle's flight. Hunger sharpens its resolve, forcing innovation, scavenging from wolf kills or even daring to steal from a fox. Interactions between predator and prey are woven into every day. The marmot's shrill warning whistle echoes through the valley, a sound both of fear and of resilience. In response, the eagle circles higher, searching for another chance. In the frozen mountains, the golden eagle is more than a hunter. It is a symbol of endurance and adaptation, a living thread in the tapestry of survival. Its vigilance is relentless, its strategies honed by generations. Against the backdrop of snow and stone, the sky hunter's vigil never ends. Clinging to the sheer faces of Himalayan cliffs, where even the wind hesitates, lives a master of vertical survival, the Himalayan tahr. Draped in a thick russet mane, this mountain ungulate is perfectly engineered for the cold, jagged world above the tree line. Its broad, rubbery hooves act like natural climbing shoes, gripping the smallest ledges as it moves with uncanny agility across rock faces glazed with ice and snow. Every step is a calculated risk. The tahr's powerful legs flex and spring, propelling it upward or sideways, defying gravity where a single slip can mean disaster. In these dizzying heights, predators rarely dare to follow. Feeding is a test of patience and precision. The tahr nibbles on tufts of hardy grasses and the occasional alpine shrub, scraping nourishment from beneath the snow or between stone cracks. Even lichen and moss are precious resources here. When food is scarce, the herd spreads out, each member foraging independently, yet alert to danger. Survival on the cliffs demands more than just sure footing. The tahr's thick coat insulates against biting winds, while its keen senses are always on guard for the shadow of an eagle or the distant howl of a wolf. In winter, the tahr's movements become even more deliberate, seeking sun-warmed rock faces and sheltering in crevices during storms. Yet even in the harshest conditions, the herd remains close-knit. Mothers guide their young along the safest paths, teaching the art of balance, the rhythm of careful grazing, and the value of caution. The cliffs may seem unforgiving, but to the Himalayan tahr, they are both fortress and home, a place where adaptation is the ultimate key to survival, and every day is a dance with the mountain itself. Beneath the relentless sweep of Himalayan winds, where snowdrifts pile high and silence reigns, a tiny figure scurries among the rocks. The pika. Small and unassuming, with rounded ears and a coat as soft as the snow it tunnels through, the pika is a master of quiet industry. While the mountain's giants roam above, the pika's world is a labyrinth of crevices and hidden burrows expertly carved beneath the frost. Foraging is a race against time and weather. In the brief warmth of summer, the pika transforms into a tireless harvester, gathering mouthfuls of alpine grasses, wildflowers and moss. Each stem is carefully selected, dried in the sun, and stashed in secret hay piles, lifelines that will sustain the pika through the long frozen months when nothing grows. Every trip outside the shelter is fraught with peril, the shadow of a passing snow leopard, the swoop of an eagle overhead, or even the sudden approach of a fox can turn a routine forage into a desperate dash for cover. Shelter building is an art as much as a necessity. The pika weaves its burrows deep within rocky outcrops, where snow cannot reach, and the cold is less biting. These hidden chambers provide not only refuge from predators, but also safe storage for precious food stores. Within these snowy fortresses, the pika endures the harshest storms, huddled in the darkness, listening to the muffled world above. Yet even in isolation, the pika's sharp calls echo across the slopes, a warning to others, a sign that danger prowls near. Each day is a careful balance between boldness and caution, hunger and safety. In the great expanse of white, the pika's resilience is a quiet triumph, a reminder that even the smallest creature can endure, adapt, and thrive amidst the snowbound wilds. As the first blush of dawn ignites the icy peaks, a distinct call reverberates across the barren slopes, the low, resonant boom of the Himalayan snowcock. Cloaked in feathers, mottled like the granite beneath its feet, this elusive bird is both sentinel and survivor in the realm where air thins and life clings to the edge. Every morning, the snowcock emerges from a rocky hollow, ruffling its dense plumage to shake off the night's chill. Its feathers, layered for maximum insulation, trap precious warmth against the biting winds. With careful, deliberate steps, it navigates the scree and snowfields, ever alert for danger. The snowcock's keen eyes scan for predators, foxes, raptors, even the silent approach of a snow leopard, while its cryptic coloring blends seamlessly with stone and shadow. Foraging is a test of patience and perseverance. The snowcock digs with stout, powerful legs, scraping away frost to uncover the hardy grasses, seeds, and alpine shoots that persist in this frozen world. During leaner months, it supplements its diet with moss and lichen, extracting every possible calorie from the mountain's meager offerings. Survival here is a communal affair. Snowcocks gather in small flocks, their calls echoing across the valleys, a chorus that strengthens bonds and signals territory. At the height of the day, they bask on sun-warmed rocks, conserving energy for the next search for food. When storms roll in, the snowcock seeks shelter among boulders, crouching low and trusting its camouflage to shield it from both cold and eyes that hunt. The snowcock's life is a symphony of adaptation, each feather, each call, each cautious movement, a note in the grand composition of survival. In these heights, where only the hardiest endure, the Himalayan snowcock drums out its existence, steadfast and unyielding, a living echo of the mountains themselves.